Hey everyone, before we get started, I'm just going to give you the usual spiel that I have been at the beginning of all my other episodes lately about the racechoice.com sponsorship contest that I have been involved in. Now, again, it's not like your typical sponsor contest. It's not some company coming out and trying to use short track racers or racers in general to get free advertising through our efforts. Nope, not at all. What it is they are giving people involved in the contest like me their own specific discount code. And with that discount code, which is Support Gleason, you can get 5% off your entire order at racechoice.com. I'll put the little box up in the window. And by doing that, you're actually helping me in the contest. See, what they do is they use the support codes as kind of an algorithm to kind of judge who will end up winning the contest. I don't know if it's a complete popularity contest, but it doesn't really matter because they're doing something great for short track racers. They're offering sponsorship and giving you a discount. Actually, I just used that discount, my own discount, to get a new fuel pump. Pretty sweet, right? I got like 20 bucks off of it. So if you go to racechoice.com, enter my promo code Support Gleason down here at the bottom, you get yourself 5% off your entire order. It does work. Put it in at checkout. Thank you all for your continued support and having to listen to 2 minutes of me pitching racechoice.com every episode. But if you go there, it would really help me out if you use Support Gleason at checkout and get yourself 5% off. Thank you and enjoy the video. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today, we got a lot of work to do because we're inching closer to race day. If you're new to the channel or a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe if you have not already. It helps me a ton with trying to get to that 1,000 mark so that maybe, just maybe, Google will start sending me money and I'm going to put that into this. Either way, if you have some friends that you think would maybe enjoy what I do here, some DIY, some mechanical stuff, welding, fabricating, screwing up, making a lot of mistakes, I'm your guy. Send them my way. See if they'll like to subscribe as well. Again, it's not all going to be racing content. It will be different stuff. Just give me time. Actually, if you give me time, you might see a lot more racing content in the future, but that's still in the air. So either way, I'm back on the car. I know my episodes have been really wordy lately, and I'm going to try to trim that down. But we got to get this thing ready. I already started on it yesterday. I got this bank here done. I got the valve springs kind of put back into it. I got to go around to the other side. I got to put those valve springs in. And like you saw at the beginning of the video when I pitched you racechoice.com, I got me a new fuel pump. No free ads. But that's got to go on too, because if you saw my last video where I broke this motor in and the cam and lifters and stuff, well, you saw that it was kind of spitting fuel out of the, I don't even know if that's a vent or whatever that is, but whatever, it's spitting fuel out. Not good. You don't want random fuel coming out. We might also have to address any leaks on this engine. I did run it yesterday for a bit to try to check for leaks. I saw like the tiniest little bit of maybe a leak. I don't even know if it's a leak or not, but I'm going to go tackle that too. So I'm going to actually show you work instead of talking about it this time, because I know that's kind of annoying. Valve springs, fuel pump, goop. Valve springs are done. Valves are lashed. Rocker covers, valve covers, whatever you want to call them, are on. Hopefully they don't leak. I'm going to have to clean up these headers. They're completely covered in oil. New spark plugs are in. Spark plug wires are all routed, done. Next thing on the agenda is the fuel pump, but I got to show you this first because I was doing my spark plugs and I forgot to mention it. I got this old AC spark plug gap gauge, right? I got this at an antique store. It is quite old, but these older tools are way better because number one, the metal quality is better. Number two, I think they're actually more accurate. Now you got these. This one here is made in America. This is one of them round ones, which are kind of iffy at times, but again, made in the USA. Then you got this one from a parts store that's made in China. Now there are differences in these. I got my dial calipers out here. I'm going to set it to 40 thousandths. All right, let's see here. That's 40. Nope, it's not. That's 36. Here's the Made in America one. That's 40 right there. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible here. 40 even. Let's get the old AC out. Now this is one of them flat sliding type. You can see how it's kind of tapered down the edge. Let's get that on 40. Just because 40 is a nice round number. Alright, I don't want to take this off because I keep messing it up, but that's 41. So it's pretty dang accurate. Obviously the most accurate one right now is this weird round one that's made in the USA. But there are differences in your spark plug gappers. Obviously the one made in China is cheaper, therefore the tolerances are not as fine. Then you've got these that are much closer because you get what you pay for. Speaking of get what you pay for, I got a fuel pump and I got it from racechoice.com, which promo code support Gleason 5% off. I could have got a much cheaper one on eBay that was made of Chinesium and probably would have broke right about here and sheared off, which I've had happen at least twice. Not to my car, but cars I've worked on. But this is a Holley brand QFT. I know they own it. It's clockable. I can change these, move it to where I need it. I think I do like one hole over just to get it out of the way of the frame. But that's going on next, and we're going to keep working. Don't mind my fan noise, and I did take my microphone off, so it sounds a little different, but that's totally the same fuel pump that I bought that's now sitting in the car. Totally not the new one sitting over there on the shelf because I didn't have the right fittings. I got that done. I got the exhaust put on, actually. I surprised everybody. Hey, guess what? I've got my race exhaust on, as you can tell by the cool pipes hanging out the side there. You want to hear it? Not realize I did that. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that this thing was going to blow the camera over. She's really cold-blooded. I mean, the amount of vacuum that these things run with these built motors and the cam profile, it's just way off of what I'm normally used to. Like a crate motor has a little less compression. They have a little more tame cam. It's more of a street cam. And it's much more user-friendly. This, not so much. Like, you have to wait till you actually build water temperature in this thing for it to actually run. And I want to get it going again real quick because this thing did not sound good. I might put my fuel pressure... Actually, no, you know what? I did have to... Yep, there we go. Turn the fuel back on. Maybe then it'll actually run properly. And then I got to get my temperature probe out and see if I can measure all the cylinders and make sure that they're running properly. it's always colder. As I let this place kind of air out a little bit here, I was cleaning stuff up on the ground and I came across this. I don't want to ruin it, it's so nice. That's a dusty old bird feather. I guess I knocked it off of my dad's hat up there. I gotta find a step stool to put it back. Anybody who doesn't know, the side story behind that is when my dad was dying back in 2018 of cancer, he wanted bird feathers, and well, we would find them and give them to him. Then after he passed away, I kept finding bird feathers, and I still do to this day, but I take them, I throw them up in his old hat up there, and the mice kind of eat them sometimes, but it is what it is. I mean, that's, you know. Oh, the shoes. Yeah, the shoes are my first wind shoes, and they delaminated and came apart. So I said, all right, you're going in the rafters. So if anybody doesn't know why those are there, and you see them in the background of videos, that's what that's about. I think I'm going to clean up for the night, be an actual adult, and get done before dark. We got a lot done today, though. We got the fuel pump swapped out. We got the rockers adjusted. We got the valve springs finished. We got phone call in to get my carburetor fixed, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with it, but I can't fix it, so that means I need a professional, not that it can't actually be fixed. All right, I'm going to let this place air out, like I said. I'm looking around at what to do next. I'm looking at the board. I think I got to change the rear gear out, and then we're going to bleed the brakes, and we're going to do that a different way, which I was just taught by a buddy of mine who was on the phone with Will Wood the other day, so I figure I'll give that a shot because maybe that'll solve some of my brake problems. But I'm going to go do adult things like do my taxes, which is going to be fun. I got to get it done sometime, and April 15th is coming up close, and I want my money back from the government, so that would be great. See you tomorrow. So the next day, I'm back in the shop, obviously. Don't have the mic on, so excuse the audio difference, but we got a lot to do. I just today, because I don't pay attention to anything at all, obviously, which is probably why my career has taken such a dive, but I forgot that we are literally 1 week away from going racing today. Like, I have 7 days, including tonight, to get the car ready because today's Thursday. We practice next Friday. But I'm not worried because I got a lot of this stuff done. Transmission's rebuilt, if you saw that in a previous episode. Engine runs. I even set the timing. I put a call in to my crew chief guy, the only person I could really label as crew chief, who's been helping me with setup there, Joe. He's got me hooked up for a carburetor. He'll eventually get this one fixed for me. I'll pay him whatever he wants. It doesn't really seem to be leaking. We've got a few repairs done. The front suspension is essentially done. Remember, I put all new brake components on it. We're going to have to bleed them again because my buddy Phil told me about how Will Wood wants us to bleed these specific systems out, so I'm going to do that side to side instead of one at a time or front to back. So I have to change the rear, which we're going to be doing right now, except it is pouring rain, so I'm going to be dealing with wet equipment. That's okay. It's not a big deal. I'll have that moved into the back of the shop, and then once we swap that out, the car's pretty much done except for setting it up. And let me see, rear leaks. Yeah, that's about it. Guys, things have gone very, very bad. And I just realized I have a bucket over there. I could be putting this snout in so that it actually can work on it. But when my brother used this rear a couple years ago, I had just kind of rebuilt it because I had this gear setup. I welded the spider gears in it for him, and he got hit so hard in the back bumper that it lifted the car up off the ground, and it slammed and it blew the entire thing apart. So I put some old spider gears from his shop back in here, so it's technically an open diff right now. But we're in real trouble here because I didn't see this. All of this, that. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that, but that's not good. That's a rear end rebuild. So I think I'm going to be putting a call into my brother and see if he has a spare rear hanging around. I'm going to need to collect my thoughts here for a second because I'm literally a week away. And ring, pinion, and carrier are all shot in this rear. And I don't have a rebuild kit. Luckily, I don't need the spider gears, but that's like the only thing in there that's good right now besides the housing and the axles. Oh boy. So I'm kind of looking around. I might actually have the right gear. It's a used one sitting in this box right here with the styrofoam. I'm going to check my shelves here, because I don't know what I got for bearings and stuff, but I'm gonna pray that the pinion has one on there already and that I can just kind of slap it together. But I think the carrier might be junk, so boy. I have carrier bearings, that's a good sign. That's what this box is. I got carrier bearings, but I don't have a carrier. Let me look through all my stuff and see what I got, and then we're gonna have to create a plan here because I kind of need that. Guys, don't ever weld your spider gears, especially like this. Okay, if you're gonna do this, just put a spool in it. Save yourself a whole lot of time. I need some gloves for this, I think. Oh. Well. Wow. Let me get my Milwaukee. Maybe that's actually got some power. The Harbor Freight's good, but I kind of need brute force. So, grab her hard. That really hurt. But I'll do it again. See, I learned nothing. Wow, that's bad. Let me not touch that with fingers. Wow, that's junk. Oh well. I think I got a spare anyway. Anybody who's watched this channel knows I do things the right way. There we go. I wish I had seen this earlier, but you live and you learn. That's bad. That's real bad. This was my old reliable too. Obviously I don't blame my brother. He's just out there racing, obviously. Got stuffed in the ass because check up in front of him, and it broke everything because of stuff that I did. This is all my fault. It's just how it is. You know, I think what I'm gonna do is, I got this one junk. I got this backup one. It has a bearing on it and it has spacers in it. My problem is that it's got little tiny flakes missing off of it at the end because I think somebody built it improperly the first time. So what I want to do is I want to get my sleeve clamp out, pull this off, pull these sleeves off, pull the sleeves out of that one, or pull pull the shims out of that one with the sleeve puller, whatever you call it. Take that bearing, those spacers, stick them on this one because it's the same exact gear ratio, same exact thickness, same everything. And I might polish these off and clean everything up in the old parts washer and just kind of slap my backup gear in it and just kind of do this a lot because I'm out of time, and this is an unforeseen issue that really stinks right now. So I think that's all we can really do. That just made this video a heck of a lot longer, but you know what? We're gonna race. I took one look at this carrier and I don't like it because this side is totally fine. This side is bashed. Obviously the ring gear would come off, but if you look inside, I mean, there's a seam here, but I can't tell if it's cracked. There's a crack here, obviously, and I don't like that. So anything damaged, cracked, or whatever, I'm not using. So I have to go find a new carrier. I know my brother has some. I might have to go take a trip over to his house 10 minutes away, or I might call him in for reinforcements. So it is hours upon hours upon hours later. I swear, I think the last time I checked in, it was still bright out. And now it's like 10 o'clock. I have not gotten any further ahead because, well, I don't have the tools. I don't have the parts. I went through my buckets of shims and whatever I had left over from rebuild kits, and I just don't have enough shims. And I'm not quite getting the pinion to sit where I want it to, although I did get it pretty close. I might take one more washer or shim out of it. That might help shore it up a little bit. I tried to set it and see if everything worked, and right now it's a little bit too tight on backlash and it's not quite seated properly. So I think I'm going to try maybe tomorrow finding some shims at either an auto parts store or my brother's shop. Hopefully either one has some. And I'm going to try to finish this thing because this should have been in the car and the brakes already bled tonight. And it's not. It's on the floor in a broken Harbor Freight bucket. That was a perfect bucket, but I broke it. Oh well, at least they gave it to me for free. So I guess I got to get back on this tomorrow because I just don't have, I can't make things appear out of nowhere. I'm going to have to get stuff to fix it. So I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Back in the shop. Since I now live in the windiest part of the world, apparently everything is blowing around my yard. That's not the excuse why it's dirty. That problem is because of me. I bought some shims at O'Reilly's. Hang on, let me fix this real quick. There we go. They should work. They look like there's a bunch of kind of thicker ones, some medium ones, and some thinner ones. I just needed inventory. If you're looking, this is for the GM 7.5-inch rear for the carrier shims, not the pinion shims. I already got a whole bag of them. Carrier shims, it's that's your part number, and it's only like $17. So you're not paying like $60 from I forget what the hell it was, Performance Gear, Motive Gear, something like that. Dana, I don't know, but it was from O'Reilly's. $17. I didn't have to go to an AutoZone or nothing. In case you noticed, my jack stands are back. I'm not using a bucket. It's because of these people. Jay and all the guys at Northeast Trucking Off-Road down in Gales Ferry, Connecticut on Route 12. I mean, if you got anything you need for a truck, go see those guys. I might even post the phone number and website right here if I remember to go see them. They've been my longest tenured sponsor of anything I've ever raced, and we are putting together something very big for next year. I really hope everything goes well. We can enact that next season, but they helped me out with tires on my truck, which you can't see, but just the best guys ever. Been friends a long time. I bought my first mini stock from those guys, or from Jay, and I mean, just I couldn't ask for better friends and sponsors and stuff. And, you know, like I said, they've been with me a long time, and I hope that they're with me for a lot longer too. And man, it's just nice to have people like that in your corner. So go check them out. They actually do pay me and sponsor me, and they don't get enough love, especially because I'm doing that sponsor contest. But these guys really need a special shout out. And I think I'm going to start, because I really should have been doing it all along, mentioning sponsors on the channel and everything else that I do. I'm going to pull this completely apart because I don't think the pinion depth is correct. I'm going to measure some pinion bearings, see if I got different sized ones, because I think this thing is just crammed up in there too far. I'm going to check the pinion depth shims as well, and we're going to make sure. I'm just going to start from 0 and start from there. Now, I want you to see it is light out, very windy out. It's also about 5 o'clock, okay? This is exactly the same time I started on this thing yesterday. Let's play a game and see how long it takes me, even with all of the stuff I need to get it done. It is now dark out. However, I'm over it. I got to keep telling myself that this is a used ring and pinion that I'm putting in, and that somebody else might have screwed up when they initially built this thing, whoever ran it. Because no matter what I do, no matter how many shims I put in the pinion, I put none, I put 5, I can get the pattern on the drive side just fine. All the way across, right in the middle, perfect. But I can't get the coast side to agree with anything that I'm doing. So the only conclusion I could ever come up with is maybe somebody just didn't put it together right the first time and it wore in funny. I don't know. All I know is I'm going to set the drive side, pour 2 quarts of oil in it, put the axles and everything together, slap the cover on, and shove it in the car because I don't care anymore. I didn't pay for these gears, and I had these bearings already sitting around. So if I chunk them just trying to get them to work, don't care. Besides, Thompson, again, is not really my major focus anymore. It's just kind of my, let's go out and race and let's have a good time. Let's see if we can learn some stuff track now. And that's what we're doing right here. Because this was a backup plan. This was not the original plan. Heck, even this, before it blew up, well, not before it blew up, but before I found that it was blown up, was the backup plan. I wanted to build a fresh rear with a different transmission than what I was going to use with this rear and the transmission that's already in the car. But now I had to put this one together as it sits currently, and I'm going to have to change the transmission again. So again, backup plan on used stuff that I didn't build before or pay for. So, all right, I got this thing together. I'd really wish the paint would dry quicker because I really want to put this thing in. It's getting pretty late. So, yeah, there we go. Oh, a lot of blue flame here. It is flat black, so once it dries, it'll... Oh, yeah, look at that. Heat her up a little bit. Oh, there's a little more flash over for you. It doesn't smell very good, though. Oh, there's some more. Oh, there's a bit more. Why is it whenever I go over this spot, it flashes? I bet it's leaking like gear oil vapor or something. Whatever. Either way, I'll get this thing all cleaned up and, oh, I hope this doesn't hurt the RTV. Actually, it's high temp RTV, so we're fine. I'll get this thing warmed up, dry it off as quickly as possible so I don't smear the paint. And we'll get that one out and make sure that this thing is ready. I didn't get very far, guys. This video is going to be a lot longer than I expected, but you know what? Sometimes work happens. So this one's got to come out. It's like 10 o'clock at night again. I got to wake up again. It's like 6 a.m. I am not 20 years old no more spray painting my brother's car in my dad's garage. And it sucks because I wish I was. But the temperature's dropping quick. I don't feel like turning the heat on, especially this late. I know some guys will be like, oh, I'm going to work till 2 in the morning. Guess what? I still got like 6 days. I don't need to work that long, okay? I don't care. So I'm going to try to at least get this thing swapped over the weekend. But it is so windy out. It sounds like the trees are clawing at my roof like it's Zool coming back from Goza or wherever the hell that thing's from, Mesopotamia. I don't even know. Anyway, I am going to go inside and go to sleep in my recliner probably because I am exhausted. So hopefully we can get some progress done tomorrow, but that is good enough for now. So it's the next day. I had a long day at work and back in the shop though finally, and I got the rear sitting here still. I'm gonna swap that in. This is the last day I'm working on this video because I gotta get it out to you guys. But I gotta swap this rear, bleed the brakes, then we're done finally. And next week I can throw it on scales, and the next video you're gonna watch is probably gonna be us going racing. So that's gonna be fun. But we can't get there unless we do this, so, oh, I gotta change the transmission too. Oh well, we'll get that done too. Got to watch me flop around on the floor like a dying fish for however long I was under there for the most frustrating experience of my life. Wow, this car is dirty. I mean, that ain't white no more. Anyway, so the gears are finally back in, and I just got to bleed the brakes again. Luckily, I got a good bit of advice from a buddy of mine who talked to Willwood, which, let me show you my pedal assembly again if you're new to the channel. I got one of them tri-hanging pedal setup. Obviously mine's a reverse one because fitment, but if you even have the forward facing ones, it don't matter. If you got one of these types of setups, what Willwood suggests is not to do one wheel at a time. They said that with the balance bar on the pedal assembly, what happens is when you push the pedal down, if you're only doing one corner, it's only pushing the piston in about halfway. And if you do this, which is you do a front tire or a front brake and a rear brake, like you get 2 bottles, like what I got here. Something like this, which is stuck to something because the magnet in it is extraordinarily strong now. You get a couple of these, put a little fluid in there first. Put them on, if you're doing it yourself, obviously, put it on here and put it on there. Do it side to side. Apparently, it seems to work really well. The video is already long enough. I'm not going to send you to time lapse and bleed brakes. I'll come to you when I'm done. I'm going to just quick do this real fast and whatever. I'm so tired. I just want to get this done and go to bed. Let's just say I'm glad I have at least 6 days left. Actually, no, feature rolls out 1 week from today. So I could be in worse shape, let's be honest. I really could be. Like, basically the car is disgusting as I look at it. It's just gross, so wipe it down with some cleaner. Dust it, wipe it down. Get all the crap off of it because there's piles of junk everywhere. It's ready. I mean, the motor's ready. I showed you that in a previous video or this video. I don't even know what video it was anymore because all the days have just started melding together. I have no idea where I am. So the motor's ready. Clutch is fine. Transmission's in. Front suspension's on. Rear suspension's on. Different rear end is in. Different, well, same transmission I took out and then put back in is back in. Brakes are bled. I did that side-to-side method, and I can't tell you if they feel better or not, because I bet you there's some kind of issue with my stuff, so cool. Either way, we're about ready. Maybe I'll replace a rivet here or there, wipe her down, and get my tires ready, which are all over there in a pile. I might have to spoon a new one on. I'll probably have to buy some new ones. Not too sure how that's going to work out quite yet, but we'll figure that out on Friday. Anyway, next video that you see is going to be this thing getting ready and then hitting the racetrack. And it's been a while, so I hope I don't forget anything. It's usually that first race of the year. You tend to forget everything, so we'll see how it goes. But I am in a lot of pain. I'm going to go inside and self-medicate. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please consider it at least, and it would help me out a ton. Again, with the racechoice.com thing, I'm really trying to get some sponsorship out of those folks. Like I'd mentioned before in the video, I already have some pretty amazing sponsors, and you should at least patronize those businesses as much as humanly possible, and I will be talking more about them in the future because they deserve it. And again, support Gleason at racechoice.com. Get you 5% off. Trust me, I just bought a fuel pump from them, and I saved 20 bucks. So that's pretty awesome. 20 bucks is 20 bucks. That's a pizza nowadays, especially in this economy. Anyway, thank you all again. I apologize for my nature, but I'm so beyond this right now. I'm so over this and so unbelievably frustrated. You'd have no idea, but like always, we just keep plugging away. Thank you all again. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time.